Oh, yes, you were telling me. How was that?
It was so hard. At the beginning, I thought that I wouldn't made it, but I made it.
You did? Okay. So you climbed?
Yes, yes.
Oh
It
my
was
God,
hard, but
I can see that. And it's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
not at all. I mean, it's not like you have like a, I don't know how to say precipicio, and you can fall down. But no, it's okay if you just breathe and walk. It's okay. You can make it.
How long is it? How long were you there?
Mm, I've been there like, I mean, in the Pico, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes because it was like 6:30 p.m., 7, and we have to come back to Cochabamba. Um, now, but the road was like, we climbed like 3 hours
Wow.
or 4 hours.
Oh, I
It was
see.
hard.
Right. So yeah, I imagine how that went. But I
The
imagine
view,
it was
huh?
the yeah, how was it?
It was spectacular. I mean, I think I was in the heaven. We saw the clouds and all the colors of the sunsets. It was beautiful.
Oh my God. Yeah, I imagine watching the sunset from up there.
Yeah.
That
Huh?
must be so cool.
It
Yeah,
was,
watching the sunset must be so cool from up
yeah.
there.
That was the point of this tour, to see the sunset.
Oh.
If
Okay,
I
so
don't see the sunset, you have to give me back my what I paid. I said,
so you went with a tour guide or something?
yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
With Bolivian Trek. It was my first time with this agency, I think.
okay. That sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're gonna, I don't know if you remember, but last class we were looking at these gerunds versus infinitives, and we had one
Yes.
part that we needed to finish up. So we're gonna
Okay.
continue that, and then we move on to something else. So, okay, so do you remember when we used gerunds?
Yes, to, I don't know how to say, like, I mean, it's not like a noun,
Yes, exactly.
it's not a verb. I
Yeah.
It modifies the object.
Okay, so
I no
yes,
no no not the object.
the the subject of the
The
sentence, right?
subject. Yeah.
Yes. So that is true. When you want to use a verb in the form of a noun on the form of a subject of the sentence, then you need a gerund. So can you give me an example maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I remember the last example. I remember to call you, or remember calling you, and the difference between these two.
Okay, so yes, that's correct. That's the last thing we were seeing
Yeah.
with some verbs, right? Like remember or agree to. So yeah, with some verbs you need to use either one or the other. And
Hmm.
maybe a sentence with a gerund as the noun of the sentence. How would that be? How would a sentence be
With that, with what? I don't
with
know.
the gerund being the noun or being the subject of the sentence?
I'm looking for someone.
Okay,
No.
but that's not a gerund, right? That's just a verb in the present continuous form.
Yeah. Looking for a job is something you need to do when you grow up, maybe.
Okay, perfect. So that's it. Looking for a job is something you gotta do when you grad. Perfect. So that's, you're using that verb as the subject of the sentence.
As a subject, yes.
Okay. And yes, after prepositions, you use them as well, like to, about, for, and after certain verbs that we saw. And the same goes with infinitive form. Usually when you have adjectives or adverbs, I'm happy to announce, I'm sorry to hear, I'm excited to say, I don't know, or with some other verbs as well.
Yeah, verbs is perfection.
Okay, so let's look at the verbs that change in meaning. That's what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some verbs here like remember, forget, regret, stop, and try. Let's read it. Okay, so I think we covered remember, right? When we say remember and forget, which one?
Yeah.
So for example, if I say, I forgot. So, okay, I forgot completing this project versus I forgot to complete this project. So can you tell me what?
Okay. The difference between both. The
Yes.
first one is that the second one is that you didn't do the action, that you really forget to complete the project. But the first one is that you did, but you don't remember.
Okay, exactly. So you did it, but you don't remember doing it. So it's like
Yes.
you forgot. Another way of saying this, it means the same, is having done or having completed.
Uh-huh.
In the second case, you actually didn't do it. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you did.
And the same happens with remember, right? The first one is remember to do something. So you actually do it on remember doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the verb stop, for example? If I say, I don't know, we need to stop to maybe, we need to stop to cry or not cry. Well, let's say cry. Or we need to stop crying. So what's the difference then? What do you think the difference could be?
But stop. You need to stop crying. I mean, the second one is that you are crying. Yeah, you need to stop in this moment and to stop to cry. Wow, it's so. We need to stop to cry. It's not like the first example to forget. I mean, that I don't know. It's confused. It's confused. I don't know if the second one is that you have to stop crying because you're crying at the moment, and the first one you're like about to cry, I think.
So yes, exactly, that's it. In the second one, we need to stop crying. It means that you're already crying and you want to stop it. So you're not gonna cry anymore.
Uh-huh.
In the first one, you're actually doing something else. So maybe you are laughing. So you need to stop laughing and start to cry, right? So you need to stop doing something else and start to do some other thing. So you need to stop doing whatever you're doing and then you need to cry. So you need to
Okay.
stop and then cry. So it's like, can we stop to buy some, I don't know, to buy something from the grocery store? So you're gonna stop driving probably, you're gonna leave the car and buy the grocery stuff. So stop to buy something. I think that's more common than stop to cry.
Okay. Yeah, that's more. clear.
So yes, that's with stop. It's quite similar to forget or forgot. And remember, what's another one? Try, for example. So if we say, you need to try, okay, smoking. No, let's do something else. Maybe you need to try, okay, let's say smoking. Or you need to try to smoke. So what would the difference be?
The second one is that I think it's like your first time, you need to try it for the first time, maybe. Okay. And the first one is that you already use smoke and you need to stop. O sea, you need to try smoking. The second one, I think that is what I said. Like you need to, for the first time, you need to try to smoke. Okay. And the first one, I mean, I think that I don't know if you're doing like smoking, but no, I don't know.
Okay, so you're right about the second one. Usually you need to try, when you need to try to do something. I mean, it's not necessarily your first time, but you're doing it, but maybe you're not doing it in the right way. So you're like,
oh, please let me do this. I will show you.
Exactly. You don't know how to smoke, or you probably don't want to smoke. So you need to try to do it. Right? Even if you don't want to, you need to kind of do the effort, maybe. Do the effort to do it. So you need to try to smoke. You need to try, maybe you want to fake it, but so you need to try to do it. Or maybe you need to try to, pass this class, or you need to try to get a good grade. So you need to do the effort to do it. If you say you need to try smoking, then that means it's like a habit or like an experience that you need to experiment, that you need to try something new. So you should try smoking. So it's gonna be good for you. You should try doing it like not every day, but like in a regular basis, maybe like a habit. So it will be more common to hear something like you need to try bungee jumping, or you need to try swimming.
Yeah.
You need to try
something that you should do.
Exactly. So something that you should get into. You should get into this habit of swimming or smoking or whatever it is, I think the first one is just you need to do the effort and to try and get it done. Now, something about this verb, usual that you will find a lot, especially in native speakers, we say, you need to try to smoke. But some people will say you need to try and smoke. Instead of try to, you'll hear a lot to say try and. So why don't you try and get a good grade? So why don't you try to get a good grade? Try and get a good grade. So I don't know why really, but you will hear it a lot and it's quite common. And it also means try to. So you need to try to do the effort. You need to try and do the effort. So it doesn't make that much of a sense, but yeah, some people will say that.
But it's kind of the same, like try to smoke.
It is the same. It's exactly the same.
It's okay.
It's just another way of saying it, more native maybe. Try and do this.
Only with try, or with you need to stop cry? No.
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 No, only with try.
Okay.
Okay, so that's try. What else? We saw also regret, right? Do you remember what the difference was? Like if I say I regret, I regret telling you the truth, or I regret telling. Okay, so what's the difference?
The first one is that you regret that you should tell the truth, and no regret that you think that you should tell the truth. Yeah.
Okay.
And the second one, that, that I mean that you regret that you mm, something that you did it and you regret about it.
Exactly. So yes, in the second one, you actually told that person the truth and you
Uh-huh.
regret having done it. So it's the same as I think you remember. So you
Uh-huh.
regret, te arrepientes, having told or having told the truth, having done the action. In the second one, it doesn't mean arrepentirse at all. It means lamentar, right? Or I'm sorry to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry to tell you the
So
truth.
you didn't do it yet,
Uh-huh.
but you're about to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was regret. And I think that's it. I think those are the verbs we needed to see. I don't know if you have any questions about them.
No, no, I don't have question. I mean, no, no.
Okay, that's nice.
Can you share it for me, please? This work, these examples?
The document? Yes,
Yes,
of course.
please.
So, all right. All right. So I'm sending you the link.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And so let's look at what we have here for
The next part of the grammar.
although we're going to practice. Okay, yes, we're just gonna have to. Okay, so in the meantime, okay, so let's go back here. We're gonna be watching this video here. Okay, so can you maybe read the instructions?
Tal is at work at the Newsline office the day after he visited to the Growell building. Amy is talking to her when the visitor arrives to see Talia. Look at the picture, predict who do you think is the surprise visitor to the Newsline office.
Okay, so who might it be?
Mm, mm, I think the girl with yellow t-shirt.
Okay,
I don't know who is Jackie. Maybe Jackie.
okay, so maybe Jack is gonna be the surprise visitor.
Mm.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Andrea. Oh,
Okay, hold on, sorry. What you sent.
I'm so glad I went to that class last night.
I don't know why it's taking so long. It's super weird. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Maybe.
I'm so glad I went to that class last night. It was really stimulating. Well, Talia, you do look a little more upbeat
All right, maybe.
today. Well,
Okay, now maybe I'm thinking, is there any chance you could watch it on from your computer on the platform? Because it should be there.
Yes, yes. Do you want me to share or?
Hey, yes, of course.
Okay.
You can share.
Okay.
Okay, oh, I think you can see it. Hold on. I'm gonna. All right, so now you can.
Okay. Yes, now I can. So
Video
listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listening for information one.
Listening for okay.
Okay. There it is.
Okay, let me share this.
I'm so glad I went to that class last night. It was really stimulating. Well, Talia, you do look a little more upbeat today. Well, my mind is still spinning around this whole Nick Crawford affair. I just don't know why.
You know what? You missed a great party the other night. Josh's friend Matt was there. I really want to introduce you to him.
I completely believed him. He can be so persuasive, so convincing. I'm so disappointed. I feel like such a fool.
Look, Talia, you're no fool. Don't be so hard on yourself.
But I was convinced Nick was being honest.
It really is a shame, though. I was hoping you'd break this big story and become the top reporter at the station. Then I'd be your assistant and you'd give me a raise. Well, haha, nice try.
But I'm so depressed. The situation is so disappointing.
Don't look now, but the big storyteller is here.
Talia, Nick Crawford is here to see you.
Talia, I've got to talk to you.
Hello, Nick Crawford. I'm Amy Lee.
Talia, listen. I know who's responsible for this mess.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Okay, forget it. I don't have to speak to you. I'll give my story to the other reporter. What's his name? John Donnelly.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna share it now.
Okay.
Okay, so that was, so who was the surprise visit?
Nick.
Nick, right? So that's actually Nick Crawford. All right, so let's answer these questions here. The first one is, what does Amy tell Talia?
How Josh Taylor's party was.
Okay, how Josh Taylor's party was. What about the second one?
Hunter's the journalist. No, I think how interesting the journalism class was. I think.
Okay, because Amy is, I mean, Talia is the reporter one, you know, and Amy was the one in yellow, I guess.
Okay, can you repeat it?
Okay, I think
Tal-
Amy,
Yeah,
this is
Amy.
Talia,
she's that. Yes.
this is Amy.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So why does Talia say she feels like a fool?
Oh, okay, Talia. She thinks Nick's tricked her.
Yes, she thinks Nick tricked her. And how does Amy try to cheer Talia up?
She jokes about Talia getting a job as a reporter.
Okay.
No, I think foolish.
She jokes about Talia being foolish. Okay.
I don't know. No, let's keep the last one. She jokes about Talia getting a job as a reporter.
Jealous.
I don't know. Why didn't? Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, we're gonna see.
Okay.
And why did Nick come to Newsline?
To her. To tell Talia who is responsible for the scandal.
Okay, that's correct. So let's see, we're gonna skip this. All right, so there was this one that's, oh, okay, it wasn't the third one. The first one was wrong.
Okay.
We're gonna listen to a part.
Just there was.
You know what? You missed a great party the other night. Josh's friend Matt was there. I really want to introduce you to him.
I completely believed him.
Okay, so how was it? What was it?
How Josh Taylor's party was.
Yes. Okay.
Wasn't sure about it.
But we were right on the third one.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, All right, so then the first thing of grammar that we're going to be looking here, we're actually, okay, so we have these infinitives of purpose, but that's, okay, that's something I don't think it's quite necessary to see, but let's look at this very quickly. So this is actually another use of infinitives, of the infinitive form, and this is like basically what in Spanish we say para, right? So to can also mean para sometimes. So when somebody asks something about the reason of something, the reason why something happens, then you can also use an infinitive. So for example, why is Nick Crawford here? So he's here to talk with Talia, right? When in Spanish would just be para, to talk with Talia. So basically to can also mean para. So in the example, the infinitive form is used as to explain why something's happening, why Nick is there. Or, for example, I went there to see Jackie bake. So why did you go to the Gower building? To see Jackie bake. So you can either use the whole sentence, I went there to see Jackie Baker, or just the infinitive form, to see Jackie Baker. Okay. So that's basically it. You use to in order to tell what the reason of something is. So the reason why something. Now, sometimes you can use the longer version of that to, which would be in order to, which again just means para. So that is a bit more formal. So for example, when you're writing, or maybe when you're speaking in a formal way, in a business meeting or something, then you can use in order to, and which exactly means like para. So the Soccer Federation is investigating Nick Crawford in order to determine if he accepted a bribe. And I can just say to, I can skip the in order. The Soccer Federation is investigating Nick to determine if he accepted a bribe. So it's again the same thing. Or if you want to say the negative one, then you can use in order not to reveal. So you place the not before the to, which is the same thing you would do without the in order to, right? That's something that's not here. You could say, okay, I didn't go, or I went not to see. So in the same way, if you want to do the negative for the short one, you can just say not to do something. So I avoided this person not to cross, I don't know, not to cross this line, or in order not to. So you basically, to form the negative, you add not before the to. So not to do this, not to do that, or in order not to do that.
Two negatives.
So yes, in the same way that you could say to or in order to, you can say not to or in order not to.
Okay.
So to or in order to, which means or not to, or in order not to, which means and the only difference is that one is more formal than the other, but it's exactly the same. Okay, so it's like another use of infinitive forms. Is this okay? Do you have any questions maybe about this one?
It's okay.
All right, quite short. Okay, but let's see what we have anyhow, because I'm sure we have something for this. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna do some grammar in the meantime. See what we have in here. All right. So can you maybe please read the instructions?
Match the first part of the sentence with the second part. Drag and drop the phrase into the correct blank.
Okay, so we just need to match them with the expression. So the first one, for example, Nick went to the bank. What would you say?
To deposit 100,000.
Okay, probably to deposit $100,000. And the second one, why did Nick go to the juice bar?
They went to the juice bar to get a smoothie.
Yes, makes sense. Tony gave Talia the story.
In order. Tony gave Talia the story in order not to lose them.
Okay. Nick went to the health club.
To exercise.
To exercise. Now, Amy made a copy of the audio file.
No, I think in order not to lose them.
Okay. Here?
Yes, and Tony gave Talia the story in order not to give away the only one.
Okay, maybe. Now Nick went to the doctor.
To get an X-ray.
All right, and John put the papers in his desk.
No. In order not to lose them.
Yes, that makes more sense.
And Amy made a copy of the audio file in order not to give away the only one.
Yes, perfect.
And Tony gave Talia the story to give her a break.
Okay, now yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, 7 out of 7, he was right. It was a bit confusing, but he was right. Okay, so that was the first part of the grammar, which was quite easy and short. Now the second one I would say is the most important one, these modals of necessity. So we're gonna start today.
What about purpose 1 and purpose 2?
It's the same. I'm just gonna assign this to you because it's like a short assignment, but it's the same grammar part.
Okay.
So yes. Okay. So it's, you always get the grammar part, infinitives of purpose, and then you get 2 practice sets. So I usually assign them.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna be looking at these modals of necessity now. And well, yeah, this is a bit longer. We're gonna take a bit more here. So let's see. Presentation. So basically, these modal verbs are verbs, well, they are another type of verbs, so they're not usually like the normal regular verbs that we know. And the good thing about them is the structure, I would say, because after them, you just need the base form of a verb, and that's it. Now, there are different types of modal verbs. I think the other day we were looking at modal verbs of permission, like may I do this, or can I do that, or do you mind? So those were other types of verbs used for other things. And now we're going to be looking at the modals of necessity. So these ones, when we want to express that we need to do something, or we have to do something, or we have to do, or we gotta do something. So there are many modals that we can use in that case. So necessity is when you have to do something. So for example, have to, even though it's not exactly an auxiliary verb, is considered a modal because it's used before another verb. It's like helping another verb, and that's why. And it's obviously for necessity. So for example, here we have some examples. Okay, so this guy here, what do you think this guy needs to do?
Go to the hospital.
Yes, he probably has to go to the hospital. And what about this guy here?
Fasten his seatbelt, like something he should do.
Okay, so he should fasten his seatbelt, or he must fasten his seatbelt. And this guy here, yeah, we're gonna see the difference.
Okay.
And the other one
He has to hurry.
has to hurry, that's true. Okay, so as you can see, there are many different ways. In the second one, you were telling me he should fasten his seatbelt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one. That's another modal verb of necessity. Maybe that would be more of obligation than necessity. But he should fasten his seatbelt. So what do you think the difference is? Is it the same if I say he must fasten his seatbelt or he should?
Like you said, should is more like an obligation. That's something he needs to do, I think.
Okay.
He must. It's like an advice. No, I don't think it's an advice. I don't know how to say.
You are right, but it's actually the other way around, right? Because should is more like an advice.
Should, yeah. Deberías.
When you, yes, exactly. When you give advice to someone, you usually use should. You should do this. You should check out this, or you should go to the hospital. So you're giving advice, or should is also used for like things that are up in the air that should happen, but that don't necessarily happen. So they're not so, it's not as strong as must. Must is a lot more, like a lot stronger maybe than should. So when you say he must fasten his seatbelt, that means that he has to do it, but there's no other way around. It's something that he cannot avoid because it's in the law, you know? So it's a law, it's something that otherwise he's gonna probably be stopped by a police officer, you know? So he must do it. Now, should
in Spanish.
Yes, it's the same in Spanish. So he must, el debe, so it's something that he must do. There's no other way around. It's part of the law. Or he should do it, but we don't know if he will or not. For example, right now, because of the pandemic, everyone should be wearing a mask, right? So that's something that everyone should be doing, but not everybody does.
Okay.
Now, if you say everybody must wear a mask, then you're implying that it's part of the law. So it's not up to them, you know, they have to do it because it's part of the law. So must is a stronger. Actually, must is the stronger one. In the scale that we have is a stronger one, but people don't use it that much, to be honest, especially in American English. Maybe in British English, people use it more, but in American English, people tend to say something like have to, so he have to fasten his seatbelt, or need to, you know, he needs to fasten his seatbelt. So those are along the same lines, and they are more used than must. Those are some. So moving on. Okay, so we use must to express necessity, the stronger one. You must finish your homework, you must finish your vegetables, you must go to the dentist, you must take an exam, you must eat less sugar. Now, the thing about this is that it doesn't really have a negative form. So you could say you must not, or you mustn't even, but that's not that common to hear. So you're almost never gonna use mustn't, which is its negative form, right? So that's why people use more like have to. You don't have to, or you don't have to do this.
But you can use must not drink alcohol when you drive.
Yes, exactly. In the affirmative form, it is more used. So you must avoid drinking alcohol instead of you must not. Well, you could also say, or you could say you don't have to. So rules and instructions. It's also used for opinions, when we give opinions about what somebody has to do. So you must finish your bedtime or you won't get any dessert. So it's not really a rule, but it's like an opinion in this case. So your teacher says you must stop talking so much in class. Your friend says you must come to the party tonight. Okay, so that's must. Now, okay. Now this is way more common to hear. When you use have to. So you have to eat healthy food, which is almost the same as you must eat healthy food. It's a bit softer, but it's more used. So Cindy has to go to the doctor today. We have to leave home by 6 p.m. Now this is also for not obligations, for like duties, you know, so Cindy has to go to the doctor, or maybe I have to clean my room. So it's not something that I need to do, but it's like a duty that I have. So I have to do this, I have to do that, the things that we need to do. So it's like a synonym for need to. Okay, when you use the negative one, and when you say don't need to, so let's give an example. It means that you're not obliged to something. So for example, I mean, you can go to the doctor, but you don't have to. So that means you're not obliged to do it. You can do it, but you are not obliged to. So you don't have to go to the doctor, or you don't have to do this if you don't want to. The same goes with need to. You don't need to. So need is usually has this implication of physical necessity sometimes. So I need to go to the doctor. It means like you're in a bad shape and you need to do it. But it's almost the same. Need to, don't need to, have to, don't have to. Now, one thing I want to say about that is, okay, sometimes, and this is way more common, you can also say, use this structure, right? Instead of saying have to, you can say have got to, or has got to, right? So you have to go, you can also say you have got to go. And it is very used. Now, the good thing about have to go, or have got to, or has got to, is that you can contract it. So you can contract it, which is something that you cannot do with have to. So have got to, you can say, right? So instead of have got to, you could say I've gotta go. So I've got to go, I have got to go, I've got to, or you can even do more than that. You can say I gotta go. So that's a lot more common than, have to. Well, actually both are used. This is a bit more informal. I gotta go, then I have to go. So it is also used. I gotta go, we gotta go, I gotta leave, I gotta take off, I gotta get going. So instead of saying have got to or got to, you can say gotta.
Have got to go?
Yes. I mean, the long way we would be saying I have got to go. Right? This is the longer way.
I have to go.
Which is the same as I have to go or I gotta go. It's exactly the same. Now, sometimes when you want to emphasize on the fact that somebody has to do something, you use the longer way. You can say you have to do this or you have got to do this. So that's when you want to emphasize.
Formal.
This is more formal, but in the long way. So if you are not contracting it, it's way formal. But if you are contracting it, like I gotta go, then that's not formal. And this is more formal than, I think it's in this way, exactly. So the stronger one, the more formal one, less formal and informal. So it's in that way.
Okay.
We can add something else. Okay. And the thing about this is in the same way that have to, you need to conjugate it. So if it's she, he, or it, you say she has to, he has to, it has to. And the same happens when you have has got to. So you can say, I don't know, she has got to go. She's got to go.
I never hear that. Like,
You never
has
heard it?
got to go. No.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I hear gotta go. The shirt, yes. But never the.
So yes, it's not that used, but it is used. It depends. As I was saying, only if you want to like emphasize on the fact like something strong and very formal, then you can say.
Okay.
And the thing about this is that you cannot say she gotta go. In this case, you need to use she's. So she's gotta go. So it's not like I gotta go that you're avoiding to say this, right?
Why?
I got to go. I gotta go.
The difference.
I don't know. I think it would sound weird. You know, she gotta go. It just sounds weird. She's gotta go.
He got.
It's this, and also this is easier. You know,
But
it's easier to say it's gotta rain. She's gotta go. He's gotta see this, than saying I've. So this is maybe harder to pronounce. Maybe that's why. But grammarly speaking, you cannot say she gotta go. You need to say she's gotta go, but you can say I gotta go. So, so yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Usually with, for example, when you have this expression, you know, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know if you've heard it. So you say that, you gotta be kidding me. But you can also say, this is very common when you are really surprised, you can say, you have got to be kidding me. I don't know if you've ever heard.
Yeah.
But you're using the long way. You have got to be kidding me. Or exactly, you have to, or you have got to be kidding me.
I know, I never heard that. You have to be kidding.
Or she has got to be kidding me. Okay, I'm sure there are some examples here. There must be. Let's see. Because I have heard it.
No, I
Let's see if we find something. Okay, you've gotta be kidding me. But let's see. Maybe here we have something, I don't know.
Still heavy.
Okay. Okay, well.
Do you want me to?
Yes, if you could.
Right.
Okay. So now you can do it, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So, YouTube. What should I look? Got that?
Yes, try to look for the longer form. So have got to, maybe.
Yeah. I was got to. Or how was it?
Okay.
What did you say?
You can just say have got to and look for examples. Have got to.
No. I don't know which one.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe just something short. An example.
Not short.
Okay.
No. I don't know.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. I think you will hear it. I promise. But
Okay.
okay. So if I found one for tomorrow, I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay. So well, that's it then. Sometimes you use it that rarely, but you can also use the long form or just the short form. She's gotta go. It's gotta rain, or we gotta see.
Nuevo Pantene Bambú. Nutre y crece. Tu pelo fuerte y lleno de...
I'm sorry?
It's mine or?
No, I think it was
it's yours.
mine. Yeah, it was
Okay.
mine. Okay.
Can you give me another example? Not to go.
Okay. So with any verb, it can work with any verb. I could say, maybe she's gotta figure out a way to make this easier, or she's gotta find a person to do this with. So it works with every single, with every single verb that you can think of. Actually, this version, the shorter one, is quite used. So maybe if somebody's calling, I gotta take.
Ella tendría que, she gotta go.
She's gotta go means se tiene que ir. She has to. She's gotta go.
Okay.
So yes.
Se tiene que ir. Lo mismo que she has got to go.
She has got to go. She's gotta go. So yeah, it's the same. Actually, have got to is the same as saying have to for this reason, because have is the same as saying have got. The thing is that we don't use it, but again, we actually use this as well. For example, if I want to say I have blue eyes, I can say it that way. I can say I have blue eyes, or I can say I have got blue eyes. Obviously, this is not that used, but it's correct. What is used is saying the same happens here. I've got blue eyes. Now this is quite common. Or I got blue eyes. So the three things mean the same. Or you can also say she has She's got pink hair. In this case, you cannot say she got pink hair. You have to say she's got pink hair. So it's the same. It's just not that used. The long form, at least not in American English. In British English, for example, yes, it is quite used the long way. But it is there.
Blue eyes.
I got blue eyes.
It's my first time.
That's weird. Sure, this one here, you've heard it.
Yeah, I got blue eyes. Yeah, I heard.
But it comes from I have got blue eyes. It's just more contracted.
Mm-hmm.
The same one here.
I mean, I have blue eyes. It's very common.
And I got blue eyes. This one too. It is quite common. I've got. So you're gonna hear that pronunciation. Maybe you don't notice it that much, but I've got blue eyes.
I've got.
So yes. And the same happens with have to, have got to. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Okay, but those are just some. There are more of these models.
Very common.
I'm sorry?
Not very common.
Yes. I mean, yes, it is common, just not the longer form, but it is common. Okay, I'll show you some examples for tomorrow. I'm gonna look for them.
Okay.
And we'll continue looking at the other modal verbs.
Tomorrow.
I don't know if you have any questions so far.
No. I mean, it's kind of confused, this part, like got to go or... No, I don't know. It's confused.
Yeah, maybe because it's new to you,
Yeah, it's new, and I was like, oh, I think it was I gotta go or I have to go, but I have got to go. It's like, when did I do that?
I gotta look for examples. But yes, you'll see. It's not that used, so you don't really have to use it. But yeah, it's good to know.
But if this is when you talk, but when you write, you like it's formal. Like, I don't know, I'm writing a essay or something.
Yes.
Go.
Like if in the writing part of the TOEFL test, in your essay, if you write the longer way, I don't know, I have got to go or I have got to see how things turn out. It's gonna add some points for grammar, by the way, because it is more formal. So it's academic. So yeah, for example, in those cases, it's gonna be useful. Obviously, when you're speaking, you're just gonna say, I gotta go. You're not gonna say, I have to go. But if even when you're writing, or maybe when you're speaking in a formal way, you use it. Or maybe even in the TOEFL speaking part, if you say that, and it also adds something.
Okay.
So yes.
So it's more formal. Okay.
Okay. So then, any questions so far? Because tomorrow we'll continue with this.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Please, before you go, don't forget the daily survey, and see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, my friend. So thank you for joining.
No, thank you, Andrea. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Hi.